Hey everybody, my name is Carter Green. I am the sole developer of Out on a Limb, which is a platformer that I created over the past couple of months. I wanted to do a quick playthrough, have some commentary as I'm playing, talk about some of the challenges of development and where to take the project going forward, and some things that I'm proud of. So without further ado, let's check out the game. I'm going to start it up real quick. So the initial idea, I'm going to let this cutscene play out real quick. So our little guy gets dropped into the map, gets shown the controls. WASD is the movement style. Can't jump yet because you don't have legs. So we're just going to crawl through. I'm going to talk as we crawl through. The initial idea was that there was going to be an intro cutscene where you meet the mad scientist, but my focus was on level design and gameplay for the quarters, so I decided not to. I was really proud, however, of this intro sequence here. Just crawling past the TVs with all the opening credits on them. The music playing. Doesn't look like this is going to end well. Yep. I'm really happy with the record scratch. The sounds, found a lot of them. Got most of them from freesound.org. There will be a README text file with some of the credits for the sound designers that contributed sounds for the game. So here we find our legs, which allow us to jump now. I was really happy with the music that I found. I feel like it really fits the vibe. This big pile of trash here. Nasty. Wasn't able to get footstep sounds in time. Shift to open gates. And then just like a little simple jumping puzzle here just to get the player acclimated to jumping. Needs a little bit of fine tuning. Like I would like to implement coyote time where there's a little bit of overhang for being able to jump like a little bit after you get off the ledge, but it's looking pretty good and feeling pretty good right about now. Real satisfying sound effects. Just after the sound pass got done, everything really came together. Especially after putting in the aesthetics too. It took a very long time to go in and create the tile map. All of these assets were created by me in GameMaker Studio. The levels themselves were basically comprised of big green objects making up the walls, and I just went and put a tile map overlay on them and then replaced some of the sprites. That orange box up there is a grappling point. So I kept the scope of this build down to one single level, the workshops. In the workshops, you're introduced to the rocket arm. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to create the levels for the grappling hook and the magnet legs, but I do have them here in a secret level that you can find, which I will show later on. So this here's the workshop. A couple of puzzles here. We have our first instance of the moving platforms. These over here. I was really happy with the physics of the boxes. It took a lot of work, and for some reason the platforms took a significant amount of work too. It was just a surprising amount of coding that went into getting those to feel just right, even though they're one of the most simple gameplay elements in the game. I'm proud of how, if Sawblade is off screen, the Sawblade volume, I just messed up. Also proud of this animation here. Yeah, so the Sawblade volume, like the sound effect for it, the volume scales depending on how far away the camera is from a Sawblade. Just very cool. Really happy with that. Just solve this puzzle real quick. I also really like, I don't remember coding it in. I think it just sort of happened with the physics engine that I put in, but it's just like how the boxes move slower if you're pushing multiple at a time. Feels very satisfying. Things have a lot of weight to them. There's a fun little... I'll be able to demonstrate the Sawblade, so if you listen to the Sawblade sound effect, you'll see it quiets down as you walk away. I tried to... So some of the puzzles involve pushing boxes into holes, and I tried to put yellow tape down where to indicate to the player where they need to like put boxes. This area right here is a pretty heavy reset point, which is why I always put that reset screen up there at the top, just to make sure players know that they can reset, which happens pretty often because the first instinct is to hit this lever. Inadvertently, if you hit the lever at the beginning, you pretty much screw yourself. So could use a little bit of fine tuning there, but I'm happy with the puzzle. It seems like people are satisfied with the solution. Here's a fun little moment here. Yeah. A little fake out for you. So this right here is a plant. You see that you can't make that jump at all. And you wonder, how do I get across that gap? And lo and behold, here's your answer. So we got a better crosshair. I removed the mouse and put a crosshair asset over it. And there's a tutorial screen here that tells you how to use the rocket arm, which I've demonstrated before. Here's some tutorial little challenges. So this area teaches you that you can dash across gaps. This one teaches you how to just use the rocket arm in general. And then this one teaches you to use it in midair, because that's the only way they can get over this gap right here. And this is kind of like a culmination of those 3 tests. To get across this gap, you need to use momentum, so you can move while you're shooting. Very fun. And this shows you first instance of an elevator. That comes back into play in future puzzles later on. So this is one of my favorite rooms in the game, just because the puzzles are simple but fun. This one involves re-hitting this lever and then jumping so you can make it up onto this platform. And right over this. There's a couple of jumps like that. Okay, this is one of my favorite areas of the game right here. These levers are really tricky because when you pull that one, you see that these two interchangeably go in and out. But if you pull this one, you have just a second to react. And then you have to say, oh, I need to jump after pulling that lever. And then here is a really interesting point because you need to drop down and then boost to get across that gap. Otherwise, you either fall into the saw blade or have to go back up. And here's another little fun puzzle that I liked. So this is also a pretty heavy reset point because people will break this box and assume that they need to keep it, when in reality, the box you want is right up here. You have to catch it by pulling the lever again. Just head up on up here. This is a pretty difficult jump. Not people dying there. So this puzzle had a lot of iteration to it. I couldn't find a way to telegraph to the player that they need to catch this box with this box, and I'll demonstrate how that works in a minute. I just put this divot in here last minute to help indicate to the player where they need to put this box. There's a lever here that moves this up and down. Some players will try to catch the platform as it's raising, but the idea is that you use this box to elevate yourself. And then you need to get up there, so you realize you need the big box to be able to get up there. It's the only one that's big enough. So the issue is if you push the big box, it falls down into the saw blades there, so you need to push this here to catch it. And we're gonna put that down there. Wait for the cycle. Dash across this gap here. And push the boxes. I think this divot will really help telegraph to the player how they need to solve this puzzle, and just make it a little easier to understand in general. So now the last thing to do is pull this lever, jump up here, and jump up here. There you go, checkpoint. This is one of the more difficult areas in the game. It's a tall, vertical climb with lots of automated moving saw blades, and a new element, platforms that retract and protrude on their own, so you have to time your jumps. Right here, you gotta make sure you don't dash too high, and this is a pretty difficult area right here. the 5th level is particularly special because I added in a special little obstacle that you have to get, well, not get past, more get away from. So yeah. I'm really proud of how this one turned out. So it's a chase sequence where you're running away from a giant saw blade. Be very quick, pick your path carefully, and be very mindful of cycles, otherwise you'll get caught. And it was difficult to strike a balance with how fast the saw blade should be, but I wanted it to be like right on your heels the whole time, but for some players it was like a little bit too fast, so it was very much like having to scale back and forth. I died. If you heard the little sound effect there for falling. We will we'll speed right through this. Speedrun this. Hopefully I don't die again. Probably have to reset. I had an idea for when me and my friends were playtesting this in class. We had a lot of instances where we were trying to time each other to see who could finish it the fastest. And I kind of want to implement that in a future build, like have a timer maybe in the corner that you can use to, oh god, that was close. To kind of just pace yourself. So this is the exit here. The saw blade should be coming in just a moment. We're not going to wait for it, we're just going to go head out. So this is the ending level. Right here you can see. Thanks for playing! Yay! Now, that's the end of the polished demo, and there's still a lot of stuff that needs to be polished, but I added a secret level in. So this takes you back to the start, so you can replay through the beginning sections with your new rocket arm. As you can see up there, work in progress. I'm hoping to put entrances to new levels up there. For now, it's just work in progress. There's also this gap over here that's work in progress. But we're going to go back into the workshops real quick. What I just performed there was a little glitch. More of a speedrunning strat, I like to call it, where you jump and rocket boost at the same time. And that allows you to get extra height. It's definitely not intentional, but I think it is really fun nonetheless, and could leave a lot of room for like maxing out your time. So really want to keep it, or at least like try to make it more of a polished mechanic. Try to find out how to limit it a little bit more. So if you remember this lever, we're gonna get away from that, and then if you go into this room, it's gonna take you to a new demo room where the music is a little broken. And this is the demo room that I was using to test the early mechanics right near the beginning of the game, right when I was getting started with development a couple months back. And in a moment I will demonstrate some of the new limbs that will be put in future builds of the game. So this right here is the grappling hook. It's really fun to use. It's like turned out really well. So I hope that I can create a lot of cool levels around this and implement the rocket mechanic as well. I'm just speeding through this real quick, just get this video finished with. And then right here we have the magnet legs where you can stick to walls, move vertically, horizontally, what have you. And we head right down here. The magnet legs still need a lot of tweaking, which is also why I wasn't able to like put them into the main game itself, but I'm glad I was able to at least get like a fun little demo level to put in. So this will take you back to the start. And yeah, that's pretty much all the game has to offer at the moment. Thank you for listening, and I hope hope you enjoy playing the game as much as I enjoyed making it.